Okay, and welcome back to Continue Freedom. I literally did a live stream. I mean, it was probably 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes ago, and I just reached down and hit the end button. I ended the whole live stream, like one click. Anyway, good gracious. So I deleted those videos. Welcome now to the new live stream. Sorry for anybody that was on and that I lost. Here it is, a beautiful day in East Tennessee. We've got all kinds of stuff going on around the world, and I'm just thankful that you guys are here to join me on this beautiful day. But be sure to hit that subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell, and leave comments below because I'm really trying to get the engagement up on this channel. And I appreciate all the folks. We have folks that come back every time I'm doing a live stream, and they're engaged. They are a part of the conversation. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we're going to get into Disney going woke, which is, I mean, it's absolute lunacy, but and I don't think they'll ever learn. Do you guys think that Disney will ever learn their lesson after all the money they've lost, after all these woke films that they're trying to put out, and they're met with just with boycotts in some instances, but people just completely rejecting the whole woke ideology, and yet I feel like they're doubling down on it. It's really, really interesting. But speaking of woke, let's talk about Pete Hegseth, who has, this guy came off the top rope onto Judge Reyes, which is the judge that orders the Pentagon to allow transgender troops. This is what Pete Hegseth says to Judge Reyes. He says, since Judge Reyes is now a top military planner, they can report to Fort Benning at 0600 to instruct our Army Rangers on how to execute high-value target raids. After that, Commander Reyes can dispatch to Fort Bragg to train our Green Berets on counterinsurgency warfare. I like Pete Hegseth. I really do. I really, really like Pete Hegseth. He is, he doesn't pull his punches. There's someone that's in my sphere, in my world, who asks me, hey, are you still happy with Hegseth? Are you still happy with Hegseth? And my consistent answer is yes. Absolutely, I'm happy with Pete Hegseth. But he just, he doesn't care. He's there to serve the military. He's there to make us a lethal fighting force globally. And he's doing a bang-up job. He's doing a fantastic job. And I say that as a 21-year veteran myself. I appreciate it when we have strong leadership in the SecDef position in this instance. But yeah, it was great. It's fantastic, and I have zero qualms about how he's running the organization. But I like the fact that he calls that judge out. That judge needed to be called out in the worst possible way. Okay, so let's go ahead now that we're 3 minutes in. That's enough time for folks to come on. People will be joining as we continue this wonderful, wonderful live stream on this beautiful East Tennessee day. But let's talk about Snow White going woke. And you might think, why in the world, Jared, are you picking Snow White going broke? Going woke and then going broke? It's because this is a theme that's going to be throughout tonight, that there are certain people that just cannot let go of the woke mind virus. They cannot let go of leftist politics. They can't understand, and they can't fathom, because they are disconnected from reality, that the average American wanted someone like Donald Trump to come in and disrupt the system, that they didn't like the transgenderism, which is less than 1% of the population, being pushed to the forefront of political discourse. They don't like the fact that we're canceling in Snow White, in this instance, the Seven Dwarfs. It's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs has been for 100 years, or however long Snow White, the story, has been around. And yet they say, well, because Peter Dinklage, a multimillionaire little person, said that it's offensive, that back in the day they had mythical characters who were small. Now we can't have them because what Peter Dinklage happens to be, him and millions of other people over the years. This is the silliness. We destroy stories that are fictional because of people being offended. And I don't, people are tired of it. They're like, just stay out of it. Let us be entertained. So anyway, Disney's live action remake of Snow White starring Rachel Zegler, which has been hit by conservatives as a quote woke version of the original movie, is projected to have one of the worst launches from Disney in recent years. Some reports have shown theaters nearly empty as the film has been mired in controversy. Leading up to its initial release, the movie got an initial score of 47% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, and Thursday previews only brought in $3.5 million. The film is projected to earn around $45 million on its opening weekend, according to the Daily Mail. The Dumbo remake, which Disney launched in 2019, only made $45 million on its opening weekend. The Dumbo remake, however, only cost $170 million in expenses. Snow White, on the other hand, cost around $250 million to put together. Some ex-users over the opening weekend posted videos of empty theaters, and in fact, I've got to I have to show this one to you because it's quite telling. So here's an empty theater. Ooh, there you go. This is what the theater looks like for Snow White. That's what they're working with. Go woke, go broke. And I was originally going to title this video, Disney's going woke, and I hope they go broke. But I thought, that's kind of disingenuous. That's not really true. I don't hope that they go broke. I don't want Disney to go broke. Disney was an American institution for the longest time. I was raised on Disney. A lot of Americans were raised on Disney. I hope that Disney turns itself around, because that's the same thing that I hope for the average leftist who's out protesting in the street or being paid to protest in the street, is I hope they turn themselves around. I hope they come to a more enlightened way of thinking. I hope they return to, some form of normalcy in America. But do I think they will? No, I don't. But honestly, Disney's they got to make some decision, because they have shareholders. And if you have enough movies that are only making a few $1 million after spending $200 million, that's a problem. Sorry, but it's a problem. And the shareholders should make their voices heard when it comes to this instance. But the video or the photos people are posting, on StubHub, and not StubHub, but what are the ticket? I haven't been to a movie in so long because it's so stinking expensive. I just get them, honestly, in the house on Apple. I'll buy them there, or I'll rent them and play them in the comfort of my own home. Why do I need to go to some stinking theater and pay, $15 for a soda and $12 for a bucket of cheap popcorn when I can watch it in the comfort of my own home? But people aren't even doing that. They're like, no, I'm not spending the money. And I got to get to these comments. Let's see. Where was it? The critic comments were hilarious. So this is one. Disney's contorted attempts not to offend anyone have somehow managed to offend everyone, the critic added. The Times of London also slammed the remake, writing, "Believe the anti-hype. It's that bad. It represents a new low for cultural desecration and for a venerable 102-year-old entertainment company that now looks at its source material with a pinched nose of disgust." So these people, Disney, all the amazing stories and wonderful fairy tales and entertaining productions that they've done over the years, and wokeism ruins it. Like it ruins everything, if I'm being honest. It ruins everything. Good gracious. Oh, I was going to bring up, sorry, I've got to go over here to Rumble real quick and make sure I'm getting the comments there, because I always get some good comments over on Rumble. So what do you guys think? Do you think they're going to go broke? Do you think they will eventually come around? I would love to get your comments, your thoughts, your reactions to this. But it's not just, okay, look, we can talk about Disney, but this is something that has become part of the fabric in the left, in Hollywood, whether you're talking about, news anchors, or you're talking about big TV personalities. I mean, look what wokeism has done to Rosie O'Donnell. I mean, listen to this.
A lot of people did vote for him.
Yes.
Do you accept their right to do that and their opinion of him?
Well, I respect their right to do that. I question why the first time in American history a president has won every swing state and is also best friends, and his largest donor was a man who owns and runs the internet.
Elon Musk does not own the internet. He does not run the internet. He owns an internet company. He's providing internet around the world, but the internet itself is not owned by anyone, although some people would say it's owned by the CIA. I guess you could make that argument. I don't know. But Rosie O'Donnell In this instance, she's becoming an election denier, which I thought was verboten, according to the left. That's forbidden. You can't talk about, election denier. We have the safest, most secure elections in American history. But because Elon Musk bought X, now all of a sudden the elections are how in the world could Donald Trump? I don't understand how Donald Trump could have won all the swing states. Do you guys understand that? No way. There's no way. Because we're woke and everybody loves woke. Just look at the Disney movies, right?
So I would hope that would be investigated and that we would see whether or not it was an anomaly or something else that happened on election night in America when Kamala Harris was filling up stadiums with people who supported her.
Oh, filling up stadiums. You mean by paying them to be there or by duping them into coming to the stadiums because they thought they were going to go to a Beyonce concert? One of the most popular entertainers in the world.
And Donald Trump was not able to do that.
And obviously she never watched a single Donald Trump rally with tens of thousands of people. See, this is it. It baffles my mind. I look at this stuff all the time. I follow this stuff all the time. And the disconnection from reality, from the real world, is still astonishing to me. It really is. I mean, I don't think Rose. I mean, maybe she is. Maybe she's not a. She's a I don't know, underdeveloped in some way, or she's her intellect is hindered by something from her past. I don't know if I don't know, but Rosie O'Donnell has been incredibly successful in her life. I just have a hard time believing that she is that inept, that she is that disconnected, and honestly, that's stupid. It's really, really wild, but you got to watch her, by the way, without makeup. She posts on her X account all the time, and it is the most delusional, unhinged rant you've ever seen in your life. It's really, really wild. And I think it speaks to the greater rage problem in America, right? Wokeism is, it's not born out of rage, but a key component of wokeism is that you got to be angry at everything, anything and everything. What do conservatives and Republicans and libertarians and all that, we get enraged about, people taking authority or too much authority, too much spending, irresponsibility on the side of the federal government, mandating things to people when there should be no mandate, removals of our freedoms and liberties. These are the things that we get bothered about. What do they get bothered about? Someone trying to make those things happen. Give us more liberty. Give us more freedom. Stop the bad spending. Stop the government corruption. These are the things that they're fighting against. They don't want to see any of that done because they're authoritarian at the very core. And this is indicative of the leftist mind virus, the rage that goes along with that. Check this out. Oh.
Some might call it a smashing good time. A nationwide surge in frustration over Trump's tariffs on Canada has sparked a new idea at a rage room in Halifax.
What you see here is a drop in the bucket.
Owner Terry LeBlanc is giving customers a free frame photo of U.S. President Donald Trump to smash.
Normally, I don't really get political. However, I feel with everything going on in the world and what's happening these days, I feel like this is needed.
The Rage Room provides a safe space to blow off steam by breaking electronic and household items.
We're entertainment first, and if you get a little stress relief out of it while you're here, then it wins both ways.
And people are having fun.
Well, I have a little souvenir that I'm actually going to keep. Just hang it out, March break stuff. Sorry, Donald.
It's not his president, by the way. These are Canadians. Canadians would rather smash the face of Donald Trump because they are leftist, unhinged leftists. They'd rather smash the face of Donald Trump than blame their own politicians because do you know how that person is what they're going to do when they go to the ballot box? They're going to vote for the same people who have been destroying Canada for the past decade and a half. They're going to keep voting for the same people, but they need somebody to blame because it can't be wokeism. It can't be leftism. Well, America says it's Donald Trump, so it's got to be Donald Trump for me too. This is not reality for these people. It is astonishing. And as crime rises, they say, no. All the leftist policies across the country, letting in immigrants. We got to bring in all the immigrants. We got to bring in all the immigrants. These people are assimilating. These people are great. These people are the best of our country. We are a nation of immigrants. No, we're a nation of settlers. We're a nation of immigrants. And so we let them in. We let them in. We let them in. And what do we see now? We see police officers in New Jersey wearing Palestinian flags, not American flags, because they relate more to the Palestinians who have moved into America than they do America itself. And they sit here and have this long conversation. Let's listen to it a little bit. How about that?
أنا أصلي من فلسطين مواليد هاي البلد وبشتغل بشرطة باترسون.
اللي لفتني أنا بلباسك أو الزي الرسمي حاطط علم فلسطين يعني فاهمين كيف فيك تحكي لنا شوي يعني ليش حاطط العلم وفيدباك من الزملاء تبعك لما شافوا هالعلم؟
طبعا احنا بنمثل طبعا أصلنا طبعا أهلي فلسطينية أنا فلسطيني بعشق بلدي كمان فلسطين.
He just said, by the way, he was born in America. I'm born in America. I'm from this country, but I'm Palestinian. I'm from Palestine. His national identity is not within his country of birth. He identifies with a foreign entity that elected a terrorist organization to run them. That's how he identifies. And now he's a police officer inside of America, protecting New Jersey citizens.
فيك تحكي لنا قديش صار لك مع الشرطة بباترسون وشو اللي خلاك يعني تنضم لشرطة باترسون؟
هلا أنا داخل بالسنة الثالثة مع الشرطة اللي خلاني أنضم. إحنا عندنا جالية عربية كبيرة.
نعم.
بدنا نشارك طبعا في الحكومة وفي هاي الشغلات في الدوائر مشان يطلع لنا اسم.
نعم.
يعني يصير لنا صوت بالولايات المتحدة.
نعم.
والحمد لله هان باريسون يعني بيحترموا العرب بيحترموا الميدل ايسترن كلهم يعني بيلبوا لنا كثير طلبات.
Okay. What do you think it's going to take? I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think it's going to take to turn people around out of this way of thinking? And again, I told you about New Jersey, but it's happening in Canada. It's happening all over the world. Toronto police, they had to apologize after an officer brags on a podcast about the increase in converts to Islam after October 7th. Goodness gracious. Wokeism is frustrating to me. I don't know about you guys. It's really frustrating to me. The next thing we're going to talk about, I got to skip off of this because this is, that's all. It's all the doom and gloom. I get into the doom and gloom sometimes, I will admit. But the next thing we're going to talk about, this is not doom and gloom, but it's the fact that we found this. And I'm very impressed with the fact that we found this. That DOGE found this. Love DOGE. DOGE is fantastic.
This big, beautiful.
But this is, let's see here. This is a building. Musk reveals the latest government inefficiency. This isn't Musk, obviously, but these are, check this out. This is really funny.
Knock, knock. Nobody's home. Look at this. Got this big, beautiful area where employees are supposed to work. Nobody's here. So we're in the second headquarters at Freddie Mac. We were just in the other building. There was nobody there for miles and miles and miles. Look at these desks. They're clean. We've got a cafeteria, again, that's completely vacant. You've got food that's being prepared. The staff that makes the food is here 5 days a week, but the people who work in this building or should work in this building aren't here 5 days a week. 2,900 people that were supposed to work in the building. Turns out only 49 were showing up full time on a 5-day.
Wait, no, slow it down. 2,900 people? How many showed up?
On average, the highest that we saw on a 5-day work week was 49 people. Spending on that one building, just to point this out, $57 million a year.
And your lease payments?
In lease payments.
Wow. Good job, Elon. Good job, Doge. 2,900 people, a building for 2,900 people. And they realized, well, there's only 49 people showing up. The cafeteria staff is showing up. They're coming there making food, doing all this for the people that are supposed to be working in that building. And nope, adios. Good gracious. And this is the guy they hate. That's saving us millions and millions of dollars in lease payments. Getting those employees removed from the rolls would save us millions and millions and millions of dollars. But somehow this is evil. And that's, again, something I just don't understand from the left. And they make him out to be a villain, right? Elon Musk is a villain. That's why they're burning down or burning Teslas. That's why they are, destroying the Tesla dealerships. Well, let me give you an insight. This is a great insight into how Elon Musk actually runs his company, how he treats the people that work for Tesla. This is really insanely valuable. Listen to this real quick.
But I actually know the people on the line because I worked on the line and I walked the line and I slept in the factory and I worked beside them. So I'm no stranger to them. There are many people at Tesla who have gone from working on the line to being in senior management. There is no lords and peasants. Everyone eats at the same table. Everyone parks in the same parking lot. At GM, there's a special elevator only for senior executives. We have no such thing at Tesla. We give everyone stock options. Many people who are just working the line, who didn't even know what stocks were, we've made them millionaires. And I just want to say that I'm incredibly appreciative of those who build cars, and they know it.
Look, I'm not saying Elon Musk is a saint. But what I am saying is Elon Musk knows how to run a company. Elon Musk is focused and devoted on the companies that he has built. This is why, I was talking in the last live stream, the one that I did on, I guess it was Wednesday or Thursday, Wednesday, whatever day it was. And one of the guys said that Elon, he only owns 12% of Tesla, so he's really not that concerned whether it goes under or not, but he still runs the company, just like he does SpaceX and Starlink and all of his companies. He still runs those companies. Yeah, he may have had to give away some ownership in order to get money to raise funds, whatever it happened to be. He's given away some ownership of his company, but he is still the guy. And you cannot. And the guy sold his homes. He sold a bunch of his property. He bought tiny homes that he could put on the property of Tesla and SpaceX, so that he could stay there and devote his life and all of his time and all of his efforts to his work and to his employees. There's a video, a very widely seen video of him walking in SpaceX, into one of the silos where they had one of the rockets being built. And just the random guy wearing a construction vest or a reflective vest walks up to him, and they're like, "We've got you, Elon. We've got you, man." And they know this guy. They're more than happy to go up and talk to him because at the end of the day, he's a hardworking dude who has built amazing companies, and he understands it takes devoted people, from the person who sweeps the floor to the person who's writing the code to the guys that are helping him run the company. It takes a team of people, not individuals, but a team. I mean, it is individuals, but you get my idea. It takes teamwork to do that, and that's something he's been able to cultivate in his companies. He took the last of his money and said, if you don't remember this, he did an interview. It was a very, very widely seen interview where he came to a point where he was either going to lose Tesla, he was going to lose SpaceX. He had a lot of money, but they were both going bankrupt. And he said, I could save one or I could risk it all and try to save both. And that's what he did. He took his money, he put some into SpaceX, took some and put it into Tesla. And the companies survived, and now it's the #1 EV producer. It's the guy who just rescued our astronauts in space. It's the guy who is spreading internet around the world, providing information to people in wildly remote areas because of Starlink. I'm not saying he's a saint, but I'm definitely saying he's not entirely a villain. But the left has to make him into one for whatever reason. And the people that are telling you that, by the way, just like the guy I showed the other day who was dug in his backside inside of his sweatpants so that he could take his sweat and wipe it on a Tesla. Here you've got another one, and I've got literally hundreds of these videos. But this is a guy wearing Lilo and Stitch pajamas in the middle of the day, an adult, keying a Tesla. Bless their hearts. Really bless their hearts. We live in a different reality than these folks do. And I will say, you know, I feel like the news, they love to do the hype, right? It's always the and admittedly, sometimes I do that. I shouldn't, but it's the hype to get people aware of what's going on. But I think that this is, and I think we saw from the last election, that a lot of the loudest and most angry and influenced people are still in the minority in this country. And the folks that, the more people we can bring this craziness to, that we can, inform about, hey, this is how wild people are being. This is how unhinged people have become over politics, over Elon Musk and Donald Trump and so on and so forth. The more of those middle of the road people and reasonable people who don't buy into that, they don't think that's right, but they really aren't paying attention during the day or during the week. The more of those people that, we can bring over to our side, the more strong our position will be politically. Thus culturally, because politics and culture have now merged very strongly together. Tristan made a great point here. Mental illness needs to be dealt with for what it is. If not, it will continue as a revolving door. Stop catering to delusions and idiocy. End the victim mindset. That's very, very, very well put. Yes. The victim mindset. There are people that Thomas Sowell is somebody who I deeply, deeply admire. And he really hates the victim mindset. He talks about it from where he came from. He grew up in Harlem and had nothing. He talked about sleeping outside on the staircase because they didn't have air conditioning. It was sweltering hot. They were in I think it was government housing that they were living in. And he talked about going from that to being one of the most revered intellectuals in America. That, yeah, everybody's born, and it's not just the black and white. That's where a lot of people tend to go, is they say, well, it's a racial thing. Well, when you start delving us or dipping us into racism, right, into racial things are, that's Marxism. Marxism divides people along their immutable characteristics, and we don't do that because we see all of us as children of God. We see all of us as equal. We are just human beings. We have different melanin. We have different, we're all built completely different in one way, shape, form, or in some shape, form, or fashion. But they take immutable characteristics and divide people because that's a more easy way to control people. And that's what wokeism has done. That's all wokeism is an offshoot of Marxism, an offshoot of communism, socialism, whatever it happens to be. In order to control the people, to take enough from the people that you can have all your government programs and you can, fleece these economies, you got to have them divided, because if they're unified, they take you down. And the prolonged exposure to this from kids has become part of our mental health problem. I truly believe that. That and social media. Social media plays a huge role in that. But I can't vilify this guy. And this is a prime example of it. So let me pull up this article here. This is from the Post Millennial. And Elon Musk says, I've had enough, and is going to sue Jamal Bowman, who's a former congressman, over a CNN segment. I'm going to play this CNN segment because it's important we see the context. This isn't some frivolous lawsuit by the richest man in the world because some guy said some nasty things. It's the things he said and how he said them that are leading Elon Musk to file a lawsuit, and I am wholeheartedly for this for a couple of reasons that I'll illuminate here in just a second.
That's not true, and this shows, again, the American people do not trust Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is incompetent in his position. And how do we know? Because they fired tens of thousands of people, it was challenged in court. The court said the people have to go back, and now the people are coming back. He's incompetent, he's a thief, he's a Nazi, and people don't trust him.
Oh, speak for yourself. Do I trust him entirely? No, we shouldn't trust anybody. I mean, wholeheartedly and completely. Because people will let us down. We know that. Human nature, just because the guy is rich. I say the same thing about you know, the left talks about George Soros. They love George Soros. They love all these other, you know, billionaires that give them tons of money. But just because they have money doesn't make them right, doesn't make them superior. In fact, it's they're on the same level that we are when it comes to their trustworthiness, because they are people. We are fallen people. Every single one of us are. And when we start having human idols, that's a bad thing. But Elon Musk said that he will be suing over a Jamal Bowman segment on CNN, which we just looked at. Bowman, who served 2 years in Congress but was then voted out of office in New York's 16th District after moderate Democrat George Latimer won the seat, told a panel on CNN that Musk is incompetent. I will ask him the same question that I ask other leftists. How many rockets did you land last week? But he said the American people don't trust Elon. Let's see. Let me find the other part of it. Okay, so the post-millennials Andy No wrote, accusing people of crimes is not protected opinion. CNN is putting itself at risk of liability for bringing on guests who repeat potentially defamatory claims unchallenged. And that's the question. If somebody makes a claim, CNN should be stepping in saying, whoa, 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 step back. You can't say that he's a Nazi. We have no proof of that. But the fact remains, CNN is one of the same news outlets that was pushing the whole fake Nazi salute that Elon Musk was doing, where he said, my heart goes out to you, and he made a gesture. This was an autistic guy making a very aggressive gesture, and they ran with it. They ran with the Nazi narrative. So did CBS, so did NBC, so did all the left-wing news outlets. And instead, this guy, he says it. Nobody challenges him. Why? Because they all believe it. So is there a defamation case here? Potentially. I'm not a lawyer, so I couldn't tell you, for certain. But I think one thing is for sure, Elon Musk is not a Nazi, and Elon Musk is not incompetent. Elon Musk is quite competent. In fact, Elon Musk did something that is one of the most difficult problems in the world to solve. And no, I'm not talking about catching rockets between two chopsticks. I'm talking about figuring out a way to send money back to the federal government. Almost $1 billion of your tax money saved. So Ron DeSantis, this is what Ron DeSantis said. He said, for years, Florida has been trying to return federal funds to the federal government due to the ideological strings attached by the Biden administration, but they couldn't even figure out how to accept it. So the government knows how to take our money. The government knows how to audit you. The government knows how to audit you and always find a bit more money that they can steal from your pocket. But there is no mechanism in place for a state to say, I don't want your money, take it back. And they say, well, we don't know how to put it back. We sent it out. But if that doesn't tell you that fraud, waste, and abuse is a rampant problem in this country, I don't know what does. But here, Ron DeSantis says, we've been trying it for years and couldn't get it done. Elon Musk got this done in the same day. So here they're like, we want to give the money back. We got to give it back. There's too many strings attached. They say, well, we can't take it back. We don't know how to take money back. Who gives money back to the federal government? And Elon Musk says, well, let me help you with that one. I'll help you figure out that problem. Oh, solving the most difficult problem in the world, how to return taxpayer funds and taxpayer money. I appreciate that. I really, really do. Now, I'm going to end on this one here, but this is actually, I might show a couple of, there's some, I don't know if I'll get to it or not. I did this last time. Sorry, guys. For those of you that I kind of lead on with more content. I'm not going to get to that next part. So this one that we are going to get to, this is what needs to happen to the kids who are burning Teslas, the kids who are vandalizing on college campuses, who are finding people like Charlie Kirk and destroying their property or harassing people who are trying to make conservative arguments. This is instant karma for a Karen who destroyed the property in front of someone's property in front of a cop, and I think it was a protester. Check this out.
Come on. I'm allowed to say whatever the fuck I want.
Sorry for the language.
Come on.
I thought I had the
He
bleeped
told you
one.
to stop. Hold up. It's right there.
And what?
All right. So what just occurred?
He's making me mad.
Okay. Did you damage his sign?
Do I have it on video?
No.
I can see that you guys have it on video.
All right. Do you have an ID on you?
Yes.
All right.
Violation of student policy.
7:15. I got it.
Oh my god. So what's gonna happen?
Up to 1.5 million views.
After good behavior, 6 months in community service, the judge will drop it.
I am a full-time student. I'm coming back here in the summertime.
Nope. Next time you'll think not to do it.
Dude, like you can't find any like peace in your heart and understanding. For
I will tell the judge.
Please,
Yeah,
sir, please.
I will tell the judge, and he'll drop the charges after 6 months, and you do community service.
It really does cause a damper in my studies and my future, though.
No.
Don't you think?
What I wanted to do.
Don't you think it kind of gets in the way of like me growing and becoming as an individual? Like I still have yet to learn. Maybe one day I'll change my mind.
It's a teachable moment.
What is a teachable moment?
Right now.
You don't offer like second chances, redemption.
It's too late now. Seriously.
It's not too late.
No, it is.
It's not too late. It's actually not too late.
You had a chance not to do what you did.
I am all for this. When someone does that, a lot of people will say, no, I'm not pressing charges. I'm not going to. They play the nice route. With the modern left, we can't do that anymore. When somebody knocks something out of your hand, or somebody, if you're out exercising your First Amendment right and you're protesting, or you are making your voice heard in the public square, and someone comes and rips a sign out of your hand or does something that assaults you, I'm of the firm belief these days that you have to do something, because us being so soft that there is no discipline for these children, whether they are this girl in college who is still acting like a child, or they are the 40-somethings that I just showed you wearing Lilo and Stitch pajamas keying cars. There has to be discipline. That was one of the great things that I had in my life growing up. My dad had a belt. My mom had a wooden spoon. My mom had a paddle. And there was discipline. There were repercussions for me doing the wrong thing. There was a punishment. And when we play soft with these people, we cannot treat them like the average adult who understands that they have a responsibility in this world. We can't let them walk away. We say, nope, sorry, I'm pressing charges. And they, woe is me, and woe is me, and woe is me. Well, you should have thought about that like an adult. Like this girl's an adult. You should have thought about that before you destroyed somebody else's property. You think you can walk through this world with your, taking advantage of other people with no repercussions? No, we have to start taking some action. And that action should be using law enforcement as law enforcement is supposed to be used, for accountability, for justice. And this is, like I said on Wednesday or Thursday, whatever day it was, that, 90% of the people that are keying these cars and burning cars are being caught. The cars being the Teslas. That law and order, that has a huge effect. That's the key to stopping it in the long term. It really is. So I'm thankful that is happening. I really am. And I'm thankful that this guy said, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry. You'll get community service. The judge will probably drop it after 6 months and you'll get community service. But it's a teachable moment. And it truly is. This girl is going to be inconvenienced. Her college studies are going to be affected. Well, before you went out and keyed somebody's car, or before you went out and destroyed something that they paid for with their time and their labor and their effort, maybe you should have thought about that. Maybe you should have thought about the consequences of your actions. So there you go. That's why, it's one of the many reasons I'm a Law and Order guy. not the TV show, but Law and Order here in America. Tristan says, yes, push resilience instead of woe is me. What a great way to put it. Resilience. I mean, this is something that we used to have in the military. It was master resiliency training, and it was teaching you to be resilient and handle the stress of life, handle the stress of work. And for us, it was like, you know, in some cases combat and the things that we had to deal with there, but everybody has their own burdens and their own difficulties. People are born into wealthy families. People are born into poor families. You have to have resilience in this world, regardless of your upbringing. And, you know, they always say, you know, I don't know if your family ever told you this, but be nice to people on your way up because you're going to meet them again on your way down, right? Wherever your social strata is, you got to have some form of resiliency to, you know, to exist. And that's what we should be teaching the people that are born into, you know, whether it's lower income families, and I'm not, you know, regardless, in East Tennessee or in the South Side of Chicago or in Oakland or in Idaho, it doesn't really matter. Yes, teach resiliency, how to overcome difficulties, and that there are amazing opportunities in this world. We've got tons of examples. I talked about, you know, Thomas Sowell, the guy who started Starbucks. Though I don't agree with his politics, he was testifying in front of Congress and talked about how he lived in government housing when he was a kid. And he used all of his money, sacrificed time with his wife and his family to start this company. And now he's at the pinnacle of pinnacles. That is so true. Resilience instead of woe is me. I like that. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. I'll give you a cut, Tristan. Okay, guys, that's all I've got for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. That way you're notified every time a new video is released. Hit me up in the comments below. Thank you all so much for checking in. I love you guys. God bless you. God bless America, and I'll see you in the next show.